and cutting away this excess. Then I'll just clean up these edges, go ahead and cut through those areas that we left in the gaps and the rings, cut those out. This is the Dremel tool still, it's just got a little reciprocating saw attachment on it. You can do it with a jigsaw though if you don't have one. Now I'm just gonna pop these rings out. Then remember, since we screwed it in, we gotta unscrew the support in the back and then just rip them out. You'll have a lot of this stuff on the inside when you're done. You're going to need to vacuum that out. But now I'm going to go ahead and glass the inside of this box, and I've already got some pre-cut strips here on my table. I've got some behind me too because I got to do a few layers on this. But I'm just going to smear on the resin at first, then lay glass, and smear more resin, lay more glass, smear more resin, and just repeat the process however many times you need. And there it is, all glassed up on the inside. But I gotta take care of this edge right here, so I'll go ahead and do a little bit more sanding. You'll get used to this process of sanding many times. Now I'm going to lay the rest of my Bondo, the last layer of it for this side area, or the edge, bottom and back. Any excess Bondo you have, you can actually put it on the inside of the box if you'd like. I like to do it on flat areas, like the top of my box is pretty flat. Flat areas in fiberglass are the weakest areas in an enclosure. Curved areas are the strongest. So I usually just smear any excess Bondo I have in the flat areas, just to strengthen it up. You don't have to, you can just trash it if you want, but figured I got it there, might as well. There, I've gone ahead and redone my edges, finished those up. Notice I'm wearing my nifty mask there. It's always a good idea whenever you're sanding like this, because you're going to have a lot of dust going around. This right here is just a tack cloth. Just wiping this off, getting any dust off of it. Spray a little light coat of primer on here. This primer is a automotive grade high build primer. High build basically means it's kind of thick, so we're trying to fill in any scratches that we have, any hairline dents or scratches, things like that. You really look at it and you can kind of still see some scratches and things. And now I'm going to go over pretty much the same thing that I just did, but I'm going to hit any noticeable areas. Whenever you get this thing painted, even in primer, it really makes these scratches and divots pop out. so you can see them a lot better than you can with just Bondo on there. I'm going to take my sanding pad and go ahead and start to kind of lightly start at first. Make sure you're not going to get too deep in here, and start sanding down this primer. So you can kind of see I've got a little bit of a gloss to that primer. That's a flat color too, so I've done quite a bit of sanding on it. Yes, again, coming back, do another light coat of the primer. Now I'm going to go ahead, since I haven't yet, just make sure my speakers fit, make sure everything looks good, make sure it's, you know, you're not going to end up doing all this for nothing. You always want to do that. I know I've said that a few times, but I've gotten into some situations where it just kind of looked ugly, the angle it was, things like that, so it's always good to test fit them. Here we are again, doing a little bit of sanding, coming down to a little bit finer grade. And it's kind of hard for me to tell you each step of the way in the video what grates I'm using. I use a lot of different ones, but I have a PDF file that tells you every step what grit of sandpaper to use. And I was just using the tack cloth there just to get any powder off. And this is actually a silver paint, it's a metallic silver. And I'm just spraying a little bit on here right now to give an example. I know you really can't see, but whenever you put a brighter color on here, you can really see the scratches and dents and things. So I've got to take that off. Of course, I let it dry, but go ahead and knock that down, get it back off. And I know in the other videos I mentioned for little hairlines you can use that mixture called Mung, but this is the like professional stuff right here. This is called glazing putty. Now you can do it in little patches like this.